Alright, YouTube, I've just been seeing this, I have no idea what's going on. Apparently, there is a disaster. The Fate Grand Order developers have lost their mind. Alright, let's
When
have
a
a
new
look.
game launches publicly, everyone has access to not only play the game, consume its content, but stream it and create videos on it. That is the purpose of releasing a game to the public. Fate Grand Order, as of 9 days ago, has decided that in Japan, at least, this isn't pertaining to global, but in Japan, they are banning players from posting story or event related spoilers. This has caused
I've seen games doing that. There are games doing that where they're like, the game just came out. I know this happened, for example, with like the Persona games. There was like an embargo on, like you were not allowed to stream like the third semester of Persona 5 Royal before a certain timeline. They were like, don't stream it, please. That happened. I know there was a game that I wanted to stream, which was called Bustafellow, which was like an ultimate game with like time travel and mafia stuff going on. And essentially they had a thing where like you could not stream past the first chapter. Or like do content past the first chapter, right? Streaming on YouTube, right? And it's just like, that's so dumb, right? Because let's be real. If people don't want to be spoiled because they intend to play the game, they won't watch the content. And if people watch the content and they don't mind to be spoiled, either they're still going to play it regardless of what spoilers they've seen, or it's already players that are not going to be buying your game. So I think this kind of stuff is like really ridiculous in my opinion. And especially if it's like copyright strike and stuff like that is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I always hate it when companies do that because I feel like at the end of the day, it's consumer choice. As in, it's the viewer's choice. They decide what they want to watch and what they don't want to watch, and you can't tell them what to do, and you can't enforce something. And I think this is a weird behavior because it's like, why do you assume that like you're gonna lose revenue because those people are potentially watching playthrough? This feel like such a strange kind of attitude to have.
Fate Grand Order YouTubers to not only privatize, but also remove videos from their channels following copyright strikes. These are not copyright claims. These are genuine strikes that affect the standing of your channel and will result in a full termination. That means that the Fate Grand Order devs are actually getting YouTubers that are directly creating content on their game, helping promote their game, banned from YouTube, all because they decided that they were going to release content on stories and events that are once again.
What is crazy is that, like, let's say this happened when the game came out. I still think it's unreasonable, but I mean, at the end of the day, they decide, right? What's crazy here is that this seems to be retroactive. This is something new that they decided. It's like, oh, so you know those videos you made like 3 years ago about the game? I'm gonna ban you for that now. I'm gonna get you banned and your channel terminated retroactively because we decided that you're not allowed to do that anymore. So fuck you. You know, that's ridiculous.
Public, or at least that's what I've gathered from this. If that's not the case, let me know down in the comments below, but that is what I am led to believe from reading through this title. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of that though, either way, by reading through all of this. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. This isn't the first time that Fate Grand Order has been in a little bit of hot water though. 2 months ago, people started sending them some very graphic threats due to the new appends that were in the game. There was another incident in the same month. This blew up.
Wait, what?
That were
People are sending death threat with graphic content to FGO staff over the new appends. The new appends? What's the new appends? I think the appends is like a system in the game that you can like unlock some stuff. So there's like a new game mechanic that people are not happy about. There are always some posts with death threat with graphic content or FGO's Twitter. I understand that we're all familiar with that, but maybe we should all calm down a bit. It will only makes the fan looks bad. True.
In the game, there is another
JP user got a response back from management. There are currently no plans to reimburse coins. We are very sorry, but we have no plans to respond to content that has already been used. We share your feedback with the entire operation team and use it to refer for future development improving to our services. Okay,
incident
yeah.
in the
It's not
same
great,
month.
but
This
like whatever.
blew up out of control. I don't want to discuss those though. They happened 2 months ago. What I want to discuss is this. Areas where videos cannot be distributed or posted. Please refrain from streaming or posting videos containing the following content. Main story, part 2, chapter 5, Lost Belt number 5, The Age of the Gods, Atlantis, the Ocean, The Day the Gods are shot down, and onwards. So, main story, this is as an example. If Genshin launches patch...
Yeah, it's like if Genshin is like, okay, you can't stream that LAN, right? Obviously, that's outrageous. Yeah, you can stream anything that's before that LAN, but nothing afterward.
5.1. Wuwa launches patch 1.3. Zenless launches patch 1.2. And you want to stream the new patch. You want to upload your reaction to the new patch, the content in the patch. You can't do that. You are physically unallowed to. You cannot upload content that everyone else already has access to. You cannot upload content that everyone is already consuming. You cannot upload or stream videos containing the main interlude. Part 2, Chapter 5.5, Helmandala, Hanyekyo, Thunder Flash.
This is just a whole story part. I think we can skip this. It's just reading everything.
You cannot stream or post videos.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You cannot do limited time events.
That's crazy. You can't do limited time event that's condition is not clear in part 1.
These are events. These are largely unrelated.
Oh, okay. You can't do limited time events that require you to have cleared a certain part of the story. So essentially, you can do limited time events that is just available to everyone, but those that require you, I know in the game, it was really annoying, but it's like some events you can only do if you're like in the late game of the story right now. So like if you haven't done like 5 years of story, you actually can't do the main event, which like really sucks, obviously.
To the story, these are were doing so will get you.
I'm sorry if I'm skipping. This is not meant to be. It's not because I don't care what he's saying, but I don't want to be yapping at the same thing forever. Essentially, it's just going over everything that you can get bad for. Basically, the idea is just if you're past a certain point in the story, you consume anything related that could be spoilers, essentially. Which is obviously very bad, but like
with a copyright strike,
this
which
is
could
bad.
delete
Obviously,
your entire channel. What? Holy crap!
It's really bad.
God damn, Japan. What is wrong with you?
I don't think this is a problem with Japan.
Really am, but god damn, Japan. What?
Yeah, this is not a Japan problem. There's a lot of companies that are Japanese that don't enforce this kind of stuff, right? This is a problem with whatever the company publishing FGO, right? This is obviously outrageous. Hopefully it gets fixed, or they, walk back this decision, because this is really, really bad. And I think like that really, FGO already has a lot of problems in my opinion, especially with like, for the longest time they didn't have pity. Now they have pity, but it's like you have to pull 600 times or something ridiculous. It's absolutely horrendous. And this is more consumer unfriendly changes that is not going to make anyone happy. This is more of a hindrance and making life harder and less enjoyable, and just the experience in general be more shit. And this is so anti-consumer and community that it's like you're basically asking people to stop promoting your game, essentially, right? It's like, are you trying to kill your community? Are you trying to make sure that nobody wants to make content on your game? Because that's what's going to happen, right? And the thing is, like, when people don't want to make content on a specific game, well, obviously some people don't care, will still play. But it will certainly dilute the interest.
What is wrong with you? Let's continue on. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. These guidelines are subject to revision without notice.
we could make it work. We can make it worse and decide to retroactively just get you banned from YouTube at any moment's notice without letting you know in advance. Just a big fat middle finger to you. The friendly the friendly sign from the outer ring to your face.
So they can be altered. They can add things to these restrictions, and they do not need to update you.
That's crazy.
They do not need to let
that
you
is
know.
outrageous.
What this means is covering any fake Grand Order content in any capacity within Japan could at any point in the future result in the termination of your entire YouTube channel, your career on YouTube, your entire future. God, I hope that...
Yeah, because the stupid way of how copyright infringement and copyright strike or copyright claim works on YouTube. So there is two things. There's copyright claims and there's copyright strike. A copyright claim is when someone's going to say, this is part of my content or this is part of these things that I have a copyright on. This is my property or my thing, essentially. So I don't want this person to monetize his channel, or I want to take the monetization because it belongs to me, right? And this essentially says, like on my end, I will have someone copyright claimed your content. So either you remove it or you can't get monetization for that, right? But a copyright strike is very different. A copyright strike is this person copyright struck you, which means that the video is going down and you get a bad behavior point, essentially. And if you get 3 bad behavior points, your channel is automatically closed. Automatically closed. And then you can try to fight it, but it's a reactive process. And the problem in those circumstances is that if they suddenly decide that what you did 3 years ago is against their new rules that they just decide to implement, potentially without notice, it's not like they do one copyright strike on your entire channel because of the multiple videos you did. They will do one copyright strike per video, which means that suddenly, for content that you've done years ago, you could get instantly banned by the automatic process. So this is obviously a massive problem.
Get copyright struck. But I guess all I'm showing is their announcement, their notification of it. So I should be okay as long as I don't show any gameplay or any spoilers or discuss anything in any capacity. Please note that as a general rule, videos posted after the guidelines are established must conform to the guidelines at the time of video posting. Videos that were distributed or posted before these guidelines were established do not apply to these guidelines. If you are a corporate customer, including individuals who have contacted other companies
never
to
mind.
distribute videos.
Never mind. Saved. It doesn't work retroactively. So it's not as bad as it could be. Okay. Saved. What has me curious though is that ban story event from being posted. Subsequently, video YouTubers. Yeah, it seems that it's not retroactive, but people still, just in case, seems to be removing their own content just in case. No, for copyright strike. So I guess people didn't know and still posted videos, but it seems that retroactively doesn't work. So I guess people kept posting videos and they got copyright struck, so they removed everything essentially. Okay, still bad.
So no.
Still bad. What if not informed that this changes? Oh yeah, absolutely. That's stupid. That's very stupid. But what I meant is that my example was like, if you posted a video 3 years ago, and then suddenly you get just banned because you do those videos without being told, then it's fine. No, it's ridiculous, right? You can't get banned for something you did 3 years ago because it wasn't against the rule back then. So this is okay. Now, them doing changes without notice, and suddenly what you thought was fine isn't fine anymore. You could say, well, obviously, as a content creator, you should be aware of the rules, but I do think it's really stupid that they can just change the rules without noticing you, and then you get cucked.
Them for permission to post your video. They will then look at your video and decide whether or not they deem your video appropriate. Whether that's tomorrow, next week, or next month.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Because we don't know how long it will take for them to verify whether or not your video qualifies.
Please note that we cannot answer inquiries regarding whether the content of the video you plan to post is within the scope of permission based on these guidelines. That's crazy. If you would like to post a gameplay video, please contact the following support desk. I feel like this is more of a thing, like if you're not sure that it goes through the guideline, you need to do that. I think you can post, but you risk a copyright strike, right?
To be posted. That will very likely result in the death of your video.
Yeah.
If you're uploading time-sensitive content, you need to get that video out as soon as possible. If you're uploading event content, a new patch, new story.
Well, considering that most events are story gated, that's not going to be possible anyway because it could be spoilers.
People want to see this immediately. They don't want to wait a month out to see what's going on. Please note, we cannot answer inquiries regarding whether the content of the video you plan to post is within the scope of permission based on these guidelines. So, wait, what? That makes absolutely, so you can't even ask? What? Oh my, okay, sure. Here looks to be an, what, a Discord message? Or no, a comment posted on YouTube. Hello, I just wrote down a letter to you. Actually, I got a warning and removal request from Sony Music 2 hours ago for my videos relating to Ordeal Call 3. I'm just wondering, this is because my videos are related with the battles for Ordeal Call 3. You and other YouTubers are okay from this issue. Could you give me some clues to why I got copyright requests from Sony Music? Have you ever experienced similar situations like me? If so, I want to know how to resolve the copyright issue, like do not making profit form video. If you see my message, please reply to me. I also don't profit from YouTube since last year. I don't know if this has anything to do with...
Why is this related to Sonic Music? Why Sonic Music? Sony Music? I don't know.
That I have not received warnings about this, but I'll let you know. So this person, I'm assuming he didn't get a copyright strike, he got a copyright claim, and therefore can't monetize his video. Yeah. It looks like here this person is saying, I don't care about spoiling, I just want to tell you that uploading the latest story is a violation of guidelines. It was recently instituted, announced on the 9th anniversary. Everyone should have seen it, and the change was notified on the title screen, but it seems many foreigners aren't. I guess it's truly extraterritorial. If it's really, as you said, an Aniplex would ban me over this, then it's even better for me. I'd finally be free.
Damn.
Aniplex is not gonna act. If you violate it, you'll just be deleted, your YouTube videos and your account. It's a lighter action than what Aniplex would do, but don't you understand that it's the heaviest action you get? So what they're implying that Aniplex would go as far as suing the person?
That's crazy. Look at this. Those guidelines are worth light. Want to consider the reason why they were enacted. First, of course, not all Japanese do, but almost all Japanese, especially FGO players, are aware of them and obey them. The idea that consider it okay because others don't observe is definitely wrong. Why can't you understand that the management guidelines are absolute? Like, this is crazy. Just because, yeah, this is crazy.
Person for violating the new terms of service? Is that what I'm getting? Hey y'all, the strikes on another channel are unfortunately legitimate. As such, we have removed all content on this channel that violates the guidelines for streaming and posting fake Grand Order gameplay videos as written here. So it seems like the strikes, plural, are legitimate. That is absolute insanity. In what world do they think it is acceptable to copyright strike a content creator's videos based off of content that is publicly accessible? That is the most obnoxious, horrifying precedent set within Japan for the gacha scene right now. That is a severe abuse of power. This isn't them requesting you remove a video because you're uploading content that could potentially be considered a leak. No, this is them not reaching out to you at all, and instead completely striking your channel, completely striking the channel of numerous different content creators for content that everyone has access to. That is the dumbest shit I have ever heard. And I can't believe that Fake Grand Order still continues to make as much money as they do after how poorly they treat not only their players, but also the content creators that are continuing to bring in new players, that are continuing to build communities for the game. You guys need to do better. This is fucked up. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.
Yeah. I enjoyed the dance very much. Yeah, overall it's bad. It's just bad. Them losing the mines implies they had mines to lose in the first place. It's all the more common now when a company pulls a Nintendo Game Workshop. Yeah, I guess. It's inside the event story that they allow you to actually stream basically anything that released on JP server over 2 years ago. All of this was in response to players complaining about spoilers in the YouTube feed. The worst part of that is that a lot of players are drinking the Type Moon Kool-Aid so hard that they're defending this. Yeah, exactly. That's what we saw in the comments. There was like one person on Twitter saying like, oh, the rules are absolute. Obviously, you gotta follow them. Or like, oh, you were notified like in the menu. Why don't you know? It's not about knowing or not. It's not about knowing or not. It's the fact that like, regardless of whether you know or not, the rules is absolutely ridiculous. And I think people complaining are right, essentially. This is the status in one of the most idiotic things something Laysan on the developers could do. At the time to play FGO, so I was expecting to just read the lore on YouTube. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, exactly, because the games are very long, and the storytelling is very... It's a visual novel. Not everybody has time to pour hundreds of hours of, like, reading content in FGO to know the story, but they still would like to know the story. It's not like FGO is getting an anime. Like, there's been some anime of some of the part of FGO, but not the entirety of it. So they have to keep up with the content through, like, you know, YouTube and stuff like that, right? So this is absolutely stupid. What I often see in Japanese news is that many Japanese gamers like to owe hundreds of millions just to top up Fate Grand Order. Maybe the developers already have crazy money slaves, so they don't need YouTubers. I mean, this is stupid. They're shooting their legs themselves. Yeah. Lost Bell 5.2 is almost 2 years ago. Japan 4 years. Imagine that's like not being able to show anything from Sumeru or nothing from Star Rail. Yeah, it's weird. And the game also doesn't have auto battle features and stuff like that. It feels like it really feels like they're trying their hardest to make sure that, I don't know, it's like FGO is so backward and it's such an old game. That's just how it is. It is such an old game. And they have done nothing to improve player experience. And if anything, it seems they keep making it worse. It's really sad. I like the Fate series, but this really isn't the way to go, in my opinion. Anyway, it's pretty sad. Pretty sad, pretty bad. It survived only because of the IP. I mean, a lot of things survive because of the IP, right? I don't think that's really reasonable here. But yeah, anyway, either way, stupid decision, weird move. I don't care much, but it sucks. Yeah, anyway. My opinion is that they suck huge bananas.